Hey guys, welcome to another Game and Watch It. Today, we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of everybody's favorite bounty hunter. We're doing something a little different today. This is Game and Watch It's first discussion, and the audio quality isn't that great. Please have patience, and we will get better. Without further ado, please enjoy our Metroid discussion. Thanks. Okay, joining me for this session, we have
Hi, I'm Polly.
Ed.
Ryan?
Excellent. These are my two very, very close friends.
Yay.
And today we're going to be discussing something very special. Somebody just turned 30.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. A woman that's close to all of our hearts.
Who is she?
I don't know, Samantha?
I think it starts with an S, but...
I think it's Aaron with an E.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Samantha Aaron.
Like an E and a Y. It's that kind of
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
She's got boobies and she's super sexy, or she is super sexy now, but she wasn't always that way.
I mean, like, maybe an 8-bit world.
Okay. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So you guys know me from my videos, and this is our channel. But you don't know Polly or Ryan, so Polly, like, what are you doing these days?
Well, these days, I'm pretty sure I just finished Ratchet & Clank for the third time now.
Oh, no.
Because that's healthy.
We can't talk about other games on Nintendo on this.
All right, sorry.
Okay, so
what
game were you playing?
I've been playing Diablo 3, and...
So Ratchet & Clank, is that a remake, or...?
It was, the full-on remake for the PS4, originally released on the PS2. One of my favorite franchises of all time, and they nailed it. They went in a bit of a slump recently. Past couple of games weren't the greatest, but
well,
they're
Insomniac, they did Sunset Overwatch?
Sunset Overdrive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're doing the new Spider-Man game, which...
Yes, that looks
I think
amazing.
that might be...
I'm sure it'll be just as good as all the other
Spider-Man 2.
Just as good.
Spider-Man 2 and Ultimate Spider-Man for the GameCube were two of Spider-Man's greatest games.
And then you have Maximum Carnage, and then you have a
That
whole
is-
pile of trash.
You know who Maximum Carnage is made by?
The Rainbow?
Oh, we don't talk about them, but...
Set it up, man.
Oh, LJN?
LJN.
Yeah.
I want an LJN t-shirt just because I think it's so cool.
Video game hipster.
Yeah,
It'll get more stuff thrown at you than like a Polytron t-shirt.
What's Polytron?
Phil Fish. Or is it Polyphonic? Polytron? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's something like that. I know what you're talking about.
Something. Shit,
Okay.
I messed up that reference.
The guy who made, oh my god, what the hell's the game called? Fez.
Fez, yes.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ryan, what are you playing?
These days I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go. Previous to that, I was finally playing Fire Emblem Birthright.
Which one is that?
That's, I guess, the easier one of Fire Emblem Fates, because I guess I'm a little bit of a wuss when it comes to those games. It's just so much effort to play those games, and they take so much time.
As most JRPGs do.
As most JRPGs want to do. But I love the strategy aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a huge fan of Advance Wars and sort of
just
turn-based
about to
strategy
mention that.
series. But I guess it's the inherent want to optimize and just constantly grind to level up your characters. Like, when I played Awakening, I was just grinding and leveling up my children characters to the point where the rest of the game was just a cakewalk.
Can you do that in...
You can in Birthright, not really in Conquest, from what I hear.
Why not in Conquest?
They just don't want you to. It's just a way that Conquest is artificially harder.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Like, you're only really supposed to be able to get XP from the missions, and you can't repeat the missions.
Okay, so the gate XP.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's still, you could replay DLC missions or something if you're in Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Birthright has this function that I've never used where you could pay gold to just grind enemies, but I find just the randomly spawned challenge stages come up enough that it's never necessary.
Okay.
Then again, I'm playing on casual mode because I'm a wuss and
You don't want anyone to die.
no, because look, it makes you feel like you're missing a part of the story afterwards. And I know it's sort of the hardcore. Well, your decisions matter. I'm like, well, yeah. Now I just have to play the game over again.
Okay.
And I don't know. Maybe that's just a horrible thing to say. That I prefer to play games once these days, unless I really, really.
Well, we're adults and we have money, and when a new game comes out, it's not like we're children.
Yeah.
We'd get a game for Christmas and we'd play the game over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side of that, I mean, we used to do it all the time as kids. Chrono Trigger is a perfect example of it. Like, the first time I played through that game, I missed a bunch of the endings. Didn't even get the best one possible. But, I mean, that was a simple
Did you know
time.
the endings? Or?
Well, that was the thing. I just kind of beat the game, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess this game
This
is
is
over.
a far different
And then-
game. Arguably the greatest like JRPG of all time.
Yeah.
It's kind of worth a second playthrough, unlike the frankly nonsensical stories of most Fire Emblem games that barely hold together.
Well, most JRPG games.
What? I lost my memory when I first started playing Awakening. I'm like, seriously? So I'm playing another man-child with crazy hair and amnesia.
And
I
a
wo-
gigantic sword. He must have a gigantic sword.
I wonder if we'll find out he's secretly related to someone evil. That's never been done.
Even like Ni no Kuni, one of my favorite JRPGs of all time,
Mhm.
kind of same thing.
Yeah, it's a staple.
But then you have like Earthbound and Pokemon, where it's totally different. You're a kid, and the world's beautiful. You have your memory.
Yeah, but I mean,
Just
Earthbound
have-
definitely had a story. Pokemon, not so
Black
much.
and White had a story, a very
It
good
did.
story, right?
It did.
I-
I feel like it could have been better executed, but I enjoyed the games a lot. To the point where I wanted to play Black and White 2 when it came out. So, I mean, they did a good enough job there.
Okay, speaking of Pokemon, let's draw some Pokemon from memory. This is a game for you two.
Oh, God.
I already randomly picked a Pokemon on randomlypickapokemon.com or something like that.
Oh, damn, I was just going
And
to do the
we're-
easiest fun possible.
We're gonna draw a Pokemon, and we're gonna put it up on our Twitter account. You can find that at Rusty at Game and Watch Me. So if you're interested, give that a look through. So the Pokemon we're gonna be drawing today is
Wait, are we doing this blind?
I think that's the idea.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure.
Do you guys want to hear that again?
Whiscash.
Oh, you can't hear it or
I
can you?
believe I heard that.
Okay.
I definitely heard it. I can say it again in case
The
somebody...
Pokemon is Whiscash.
Whiscash.
So I got it's entered right here. So this is a water ground Pokemon, I believe from the 3rd generation. It's Pokedex entries. So Whiscash is extremely territorial. Just one of these Pokemon will claim a large pond as its exclusive territory. If a foe approaches, it thrashes about and triggers a massive earthquake. This is from the Sapphire entry. If Whiscash goes on a wild rampage, it sets off an earthquake-like tremor with a radius of over 3 miles. This Pokemon has the ability to predict real earthquakes. Fire Red, it makes a nest at the bottom of swamps. It will eat anything. If it is alive, Whiscash will eat it. No peeking, Ryan.
I'm already basically drunk with
Oh, these are actually quite good.
I can't draw for shit.
Okay, I also have some pencil crayons here if you want to add some color. I'll give you some more points. Does anyone know the color?
Yep.
Does anyone know what the Pokemon before? What?
Barboach.
Yeah.
Barboach. You guys are
Barboach.
good, eh? I had no idea what this Pokemon was.
Kidding me? I'm playing Pokemon consistently. It's still in grade 6.
Okay. And you guys are obviously both playing Pokemon Go and loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying it. Loving it. I don't know.
I'm having my fun with it.
Okay, I'll give you guys another 30 seconds to finish up the drawing. Was Whiscash in any of your teams at one point?
No.
Not a favorite, eh?
No.
He's from Ruby and
Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah. It's,
okay.
Gen 3.
I know you guys love Gen 3, so I filtered the randomness just a little.
I don't know, maybe he has little fins in the back.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I can't remember what his fins look like, but I'm
I
just
don't
gonna
know,
guess.
there's this weird fin at the back I'm remembering.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
I'm just going with a
let's drop
normal
your
fin.
pencils. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's take a look at Whiscash.
Yeah, okay, I got a portion of it.
It just I couldn't get this fin quite right.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys?
Good
Does
on
anyone
you.
have the top fin with the 3 dots?
I have
No.
the top fin, but not the
Okay.
dots.
My dad also kind of ran out of time.
Okay, that looks like a little penis. Is that a penis?
It is.
Oh.
I mean, they gotta
Excellent.
breathe somehow.
Excellent. So,
It is arranged in direction.
okay, cool. So, you can see these pieces of art on the Twitter account. That's Rusty at Game and Watch Me. Go check it out. If you ever want to see a Whiscash with a wiener, then that's the place to go. Okay, guys, and this is. We have some nice signatures.
Mm-hmm.
We have Booker. This is a. Can anyone describe what this is?
Kind of looks like a bulldog, yeah. Like a
Is it
French
Brit-
bulldog?
I think he's a British bulldog. That's why he's dressed all Britishy.
Oh, that would make sense.
Bulldog. What's he dressed as?
Police officer, I'd assume, or post office man, or
You know what
something
game
like
this is
that.
from?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, yeah. This is Booker. He's a police officer in all the Animal Crossing games.
Mm-hmm.
This card is used to kind of like. Oh, by the way, there's no cell phones here. So if you have a cell phone, no looking up things, none of that
Mhm.
stuff. However, if you think if we need to look it up, or you think someone is lying or thinks they're right, you can use this card to look it up, or call bullshit on somebody. Get it, Bulldog? Bullshit? It's the bullshit card.
I see what you did there.
Okay, but first you're gonna have to win it.
Okay.
So Sonic.
Sanic?
Sanic.
This isn't how you win, but does anyone have an idea of what the worst Sonic game is reviewed according to Metacritic?
I'm assuming Sonic Boom. I gotta go with Sonic
Are they
Boom.
just straight Sonic games, or are you
Sonic
including like
Boom.
Sonic spin-offs, or
We're gonna go with let's go with console Sonic.
because there better be like some like Sonic puzzle adventure, like some kind of like Sonic Sudoku game that no human being would have ever heard
Where
of.
is it being reviewed?
This is Metacritic, so this is
Okay.
everybody. This is according to Metacritic. What is the worst Sonic game? This isn't how you win the card.
I'm calling Boom.
Okay, it is Boom. You're right, Paulie. Good job. Yeah, it's
By the way, I'm
horrible.
doing a happy dance.
It's a horrible game. Yes.
I guess we're not counting that Shadow the Hedgehog, like
Oh
like
God!
Legend of Shadow the Hedgehog. or
Oh,
whatever
when
it
he,
is.
when he was like skating around with a pistol.
Isn't that
Is that the Where Sonic when he turned into a?
No, that was Sonic Underground. Shadow the Hedgehog is when they made a standalone game for Shadow the Hedgehog, who is featured in
Oh, yes.
Sonic Adventure 1 or 2 or both, whichever one it was.
I know Sonic. I know. I mean, I know Shadow. I think he's pretty.
But then
awesome.
they took his character, which was pretty good considering,
Mhm.
and then gave him a gun.
Okay. Yeah,
It was a bit of a controversial thing.
Okay, well, back to
To
the
say the
Booker
least.
card. So I have the score of that game here. If anyone, I want you guys to pick a number, and whoever gets closest wins the Booker card.
Mm-hmm. What, between 1 and what?
30?
I guess 1 in 100.
64.
Brian, did you look at my notes while I was away?
No, honestly.
It is 32. You are
Holy shit.
bang on.
Damn. Good
Well
on you.
done. This is yours.
Alright. Legit. I'll probably draw a dick on this too.
No, that's our Booker card. We'll be using it from time to time.
It's like it's super bad.
I was just about to say, it's like Jonah Hill.
Metroid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's whose birthday it is. It's Metroid.
A Metroid? It's a Metroid's birthday?
The series, Paulie. It's 30 years of Metroid.
Ah.
So
That's
it's not,
awesome.
It's not Aaron Samuel's birthday. Whatever you were saying when they were trying to be funny.
Aaron Samuels. Samantha Aaron.
Yeah,
I think that's what we were going
So the
with.
game doesn't start Metroid. What's it?
Well, no.
Who's it start?
Oh, like-
Samantha Aaron?
It's Samus
Sam-
Aran, for fuck's sake.
Stop asking us questions. You know the answers.
But our listeners may not. They may be like 13, 14. We accept all ages of listeners, but yeah, they might not know.
I don't think baby should listen to this show. I was just drawing a dick on a Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure we've dropped fuck and bullshit within
Yeah, maybe-
probably a period of 10
Maybe
minutes.
I'll boop them out.
with Mario noises.
Yeah. So what was the first Metroid game you've ever played?
Ooh, that I ever played? Super Metroid, SNES.
Really?
Yeah, never played the original.
You never
I mean,
played
I
the
did.
original?
I did. I just didn't play it first. I played it when it was available through Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime.
There's something you could do with a code, and it would unlock the full NES game.
You're not in your head. You know this secret?
Yeah.
Is it a secret or?
I think it's 100% completion. Both Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion. It lets you play the original Metroid on Metroid Prime, and as well as unlock the Fusion costume. I think.
Yes.
Something like that. I'm trying to remember. This is like.
Oh no, that Fusion costume in Prime was amazing.
Yeah, I was obsessed with Fusion. Fusion was my first game that I actually played properly.
Yeah, we had the original Metroid.
Of course, yeah.
That's why it was both of our first, but we had no idea what the hell was going on.
Ryan and I go way back, so when we were children, I had the NES cart, and I did not know how to do it. But it had such an ingenious level design. It was, for the first time, I'm used to playing Mario Brothers, where you couldn't go backwards, you could only go forwards. And in this game, you go forward, and you hit this wall, and of course, Samus can't crawl, right? Does Samus crawl?
In some games.
Zero Mission, I think she does. Yeah,
I'm referencing the Miiverse joke. Remember when everybody like, how do you make Samus crawl? Okay, don't worry. So to make Samus crawl, for the first time
for the audience, we are staring blankly.
Yeah. So in Metroid, you go right, and there's this wall, and then you have to travel back, and then you find the Morph Ball power up, and it was just. It blew my mind as a kid, and
yeah,
it was cool.
It's the same thing in Super Metroid, for sure. They always made the Morph Ball first.
But
so you have to go and find it to get through those like little tunnels and caverns to get through.
Yeah,
so, like a new.
But I'm just saying, back in the NES day, like games were like I never played any game like that. I was playing Mario 2 and Mario. What other games were we playing as children? That
I still remember the crappy map when you tried to decode Metroid once when we were kids.
Did I?
Yeah, it was in like crayon. It was so like half-assed. And
I tried.
You tried not to
I probably didn't get very far.
Well, once you got to the edge of the page and then you didn't know what to do, I think you ran out of paper or something and then you just gave up.
Yeah, that sounds like me. But yeah, that game confused the hell out of me. And but one thing that was awesome was the music.
Mm-hmm.
You open that up and that haunting, chilling soundtrack. Fun fact, the Famicom, Metroid came out on the Famicom on the disc system, and that had a fourth sound channel. So if you think of it like a band, the NES had a 3-person band, and the Famicom had a 4-person band, and all the games that came out on the disc system in Japan was kind of like a downgrade of music. Did you guys know about this?
Nope.
No? Did you want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, so here is the NES title that we got.
Oh, I love this.
It's so good. And now it's gonna get. Now it's. I don't know what they're doing, but
We're doing something.
Okay, so now we're gonna listen to the Famicom version. It's gonna be deeper and richer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot closer to the Super Metroid theme.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good call. So good.
Yeah, it's
Such a
unreal.
great song. Did the Virtual Console? Which sound does that use?
Virtual Console. I'm gonna guess the former. Because it's
going to go with the NES one.
Yeah, because
Right.
I'll just say the
feeling-
Famicom just to carry the other side of the spread.
Yeah,
Okay.
the way I see it is that they're going with the NTSC version for
What's
American
NTSC?
release. It's the format they use for I should say NTSC America instead of Japanese because they both use similar formats. But either way, I would just assume that because they're releasing the American version of the game.
Okay, cool. I'm pulling it up on my 3DS. I just want to know. I personally don't know, but let's do this live and let's put this to rest. I've always wondered.
Mhm.
Let's reset it. All right, good idea. We're just gonna put this in the auxiliary cable. Okay, listen up.
NES,
Is it?
for sure.
Right?
I think so. A very short-term memory. I didn't realize.
I know.
this was
Every
gonna
time
be a
I
quiz
hear this,
afterwards.
it's always.
I was just assuming that you already had this scripted, much like these questions, that we had no idea we were coming.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't know what you're going to ask me next, and what else I'm going to have to drop. Ooh.
Is this NES?
This is NES.
Yeah, it's the same song for sure.
So it wasn't this one.
No,
definitely
no,
wasn't.
no.
Interesting. Okay, so that's I guess for all Famicom games or all games on the Virtual Console, they just stick with the NES version.
Well, I think it's.
I wonder if they do it differently in Virtual
The Virtual Console Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd assume they would, because it's just an issue of the ROM.
localize it. Yeah.
I think it's just an issue of the ROM. So the
Very
ROM
easy to
file.
localize.
Yeah.
I would like maybe in the future that maybe they could give an option. I know Nintendo would never do something like that, but
They'd have to.
Do
They'd
we
have
know
to go
why
back
when
into
they
the ROM.
released the NES it had less channels versus the Famicom?
I think it's because the disc system was an add-on later on. And
Oh,
I guess
okay.
it was maybe the NES had an add-on that was never.
I think they were considering it because I remember there being a port at the bottom of the NES. Or maybe
Most Nintendo consoles
had
did
like
have
some
that
kind of
secret
weird mystery port
Mm.
that never has a purpose. Like the 64DD.
Yeah, the 64DD had that. The GameCube had some sort of. There were so many different things.
Well, the GameCube had that thing for the modem for Phantasy Star Online.
Okay. And the Game Boy Advance player, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So, what was your first Metroid experience?
Well, probably playing Metroid at your place,
Okay,
but
that's right.
we
What was
didn't
your
really have-
proper like when you first like?
Super Metroid.
Okay, so you know I still haven't played Super Metroid.
What?
Shame on me. I know.
Oh yeah, you're
That
missing
one,
out.
I would say that's in contest for the best Metroid game between that and Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I was looking this up online today, and actually, Zero Mission is right up there in terms of.
Oh,
I
it's a
never
great
played that
game.
one. I never played that one.
It's a fantastic game.
I
Just-
recently just played that game. I love it.
So is Zero Mission just a remake of the first game, or is it its own game?
If I'm not mistaken, it's a remake of the first game with a Zero Mission added on, where Samus
Bingo.
loses her suit
Oh.
and she's in the Zero suit, and she has to make it through some like temple.
Yeah, exactly.
And presumably there's like tentacles chasing her
I
for whatever reason.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, this is not for all ages, Robbie.
Oh no, I know. I was just concerned. No, it's all good. This is just three dudes talking. It could be about whatever. But yeah, Zero Mission was great. The animation, the fluid animation, it was just such a. I wonder if that had. No, the music was probably redone as well. They probably, yeah, for sure.
Oh, for the GBA version, yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
definitely. Okay, so I'm gonna get into the creators of Metroid here. Sakamoto, he's the father of Metroid. He developed and wrote Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, and Metroid Other M, which is Metroid Other M is known for its horrible writing and horrible story, and that was all him. Isn't that weird?
Yes and no. Metroid games were story based, but not story heavy.
But
If
that
you know
was
what I
always-
mean.
That was always Sakamoto's, like, that was his direction. Like, what?
Yeah, but they were never.
I think he just, like,
they
in
were
his
never
old
so-
age, he wanted to make a movie and just kind of failed.
I guess, yeah. I don't know if maybe he had a lot of influence from who was it, Team Ninja that
No,
helped develop
Team
it.
Ninja, like Sakurai with Super Smash Brothers Brawl, they were just like hired. They were hired help. It was Nintendo never really had a team to make Metroid in the 3D series. They always used the Dallas Retro Studios to make it.
Yeah.
So why the change? And that's why I don't understand the change in entire style and mood and themes of the game.
Maybe he was trying to get artsy in his old age, and he wanted to like be like.
I don't know.
They wanted to make it more along the lines of like other blockbuster titles.
And that's what I'm wondering if maybe they just were getting very tropey and just decided to make the story more like everything else.
Which is a possibility for sure. Again, I still stand by that although Metroid games were story-based, they were still not story-heavy.
Well, even the story itself it's not a particularly complex story. It just sort of...
Oh, of course it
Samus
is. Like, the NES manual was like a thick book all about story. And,
Yeah,
like,
but that's
what
the
planets you came
instruction
from.
manual, though. In-game, there was nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been also
In game, there was
limitations.
absolutely nothing. There was no UI system. There was no menu. It was you were by yourself in there, and that's absolutely
Like if your story was just this short paragraph that it's year whatever, I was gonna say 20XX, but that's Mega Man, and just sort of Samus has arrived on this planet hunting this, chasing some emergency beacon or something along those lines, and then you just kind of pick up the pieces as you go along. Like that's why one of the reasons I love Metroid Prime, because if you're a space hunter arriving on a planet, there is not going to be any scrolling text or a banner or back behind the scenes or any sort of explanation for what's going on. You just arrive and you figure shit out as you go along through all the constant scanning of every little thing in front of your face.
Yeah, and I think that principle is what makes a good Metroid game, from the Prime series to the 2D series.
I agree, and I feel like that's almost... You kind of see that concept. It's most strong within Prime. Prime 2 is a little softer. There's a little bit more information. There's a little bit more scanning heavy. Then Metroid Prime 3 actually brought in more or less a story to it with the other bounty hunters.
Yeah.
It's kind of flimsy. I do not care for Metroid Prime 3.
Polly disagrees.
What, Metroid Prime 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think it was because of the story. It was because of the gameplay.
Okay.
To me, that game handled the best out of any other
Oh,
Metroid Prime, and that's why I had such fond memories of it. It was one of the best handling Metroid games I think I've ever played. It was incredible.
Yeah, I also never played that game, but I also never played Prime when it first came out. Kingdom Hearts came out at the same time for Prime, and you know me with Kingdom Hearts, I fell in love with it, and I shoved Metroid Prime to the side until it was released on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I got to play it with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, and wow, 10 years later, that game is just as good and pretty.
The graphics still hold up very, very well.
I remember playing it as a kid. Even when I got Kingdom Hearts, I think I dabbled in it, but I never got very far. I think I got to the Ice World, and walking into that world and the snow and the particle effects. Wowee, Retro did a very good job making that game look good.
And why take it away from them?
Oh, don't get me started. Donkey Kong Country, I think, is by far. I love that game even more than the Prime series.
You're insane.
Oh,
Donkey Kong Country's the
Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze are two of the best platformers ever made.
Yeah, that's fine. I will not contest that, but if you're going to say they're better than the Metroid Prime series, you're nuts.
Prove it.
Sorry,
God. I just took the Booker card. No,
I'm going to agree with Polly on this one.
Yeah, I think you would.
Yeah,
I'm alone, but...
Especially since Metroid Prime is one of my favorite games of all time.
Really? Is it up there?
Oh, yeah.
What number is it?
I don't know. It's in the higher echelon with that and the first Bioshock and Chrono Trigger and just my all-time favorites. Like, it's one of the few ones that actually stand up from the GameCube era on the same level as like your childhood favorites.
Yeah.
Where when I played that game, it was like a revelation. Just the level of the graphics, the immersion, the lack of hand-holding. Yeah, sure, there was aim assist, but this was at a time where...
Aim assist?
I see what you did there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Aim assist?
Oh, is that what you said?
Yes.
Shame.
Sorry,
Shame.
Ryan. You're making it.
Oh.
Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
But yeah, well, your targeting reticule would snap to your target sometime.
That's okay.
Based on, well, it was sort of like a lock-on system, but it's still in the early days where, sort of twin-stick shooters weren't as common or tight as they are now.
Yeah. Okay.
But in terms of, just the immersion, just the little things like when you come out of the water, seeing the beads of water come down off the visor, or sometimes seeing that when there's a flash, the brief reflection of Samus's face in the glass.
Oh, the frost and the fog, yeah. That would be a great game to be remade in virtual reality.
Oh, with VR?
Oh, it will happen for sure.
Assuming that the NX is going to have some form of VR
I'm not talking about the
capabilities.
NX, like something.
Well, I'm just saying, right?
I think the NX will be a home console, a portable console. It will be a VR console.
A food processor, a blender.
It'll be a Steam box.
I hear that if you input the Konami code into it at startup, it'll actually suck you into the console.
I hear it's gonna be like Reboot, and you have to like tap this thing on your chest, and it changes you every video game you're playing.
I am so sick of NX rumors and
Yeah.
just Nintendo, just release it already. We all
Whatever,
want to know
March
what it is.
March 2017, we can wait.
Oh,
It's just,
But I want to be upset about it now.
yeah. We have to get a Metroid game for that system. Metroid only.
We don't have to.
yeah, well,
That's true.
if history would dictate.
Metroid has not only skipped the Wii U, but it also skipped the N64 generation.
What do you mean? There's all kinds of Metroid games coming out now.
Are you referencing Federation Force?
Yes.
Okay, let's not get into that. We're going to get into a little discussion about that later.
I'm just I have a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt about this.
You do?
Oh god, everybody does.
Well, you
It's
guys
just,
do.
how much longer do we have to wait for a true Metroid Prime game? And it's not like they're super complex.
Especially during the 30th anniversary. Like that's where really
Well, guys,
salt
we're
into the
doing
wound.
more than Nintendo is for celebrating Samus's birthday. Like,
Yeah.
they hadn't mentioned that bitch. Poor girl.
Yeah. And they probably won't, and it's sad.
Mario got 3D or Mario Maker for his 30th, and
Mm,
Link got 2 games for his 30th. He got A Link Between Two Worlds and
Link Between Worlds.
A Link Between
Worlds.
what world? And
Worlds.
Triforce Heroes, which was made by Grezzo, which isn't really the Zelda company, but still, it was directed by Enuma. But yeah, Metroid Samus doesn't get any love.
It's just kind of like, well, I would say she's the Leonardo DiCaprio of the Nintendo franchise.
Oh,
She doesn't really stand up anymore.
She'll get her Oscar.
Sooner or later.
Mm,
I think she will, and I think we're going to see it on the NX. I don't know, but I hope we will.
You remember that time when we said we're sick of the NX room?
This is a
Yeah.
prediction; they're different. But I'm very
I'll-
tired of predictions as well.
All I was saying is if there's ever going to be a system it's going to happen on where Prime would be brought into VR, it's most likely going to be the NX if they decide to put that VR capabilities into it. It would give them the right type of framework, the right capabilities, and the right time to release, potentially, Prime 4, and give the
Yeah.
franchise back to retro. That's my opinion on it. Whether or not it happens is completely up to them, but I think it would be awesome if they did.
Okay.
Are we suggesting that VR is just the future of all video games?
No, but I'm just suggesting that it's the new gimmick, at least.
Mm.
At least. And everybody's jumping on board, including Microsoft taking on, if I'm not mistaken, they have functionality with the Oculus. PlayStation has PSVR or Morpheus or whatever the hell it's called now.
Yeah.
Nintendo isn't really doing anything.
Well,
like Jesus
Nintendo
Christ,
always
HTC has their own VR.
Yeah, and I think
Same thing
Nintendo
with
will
Samsung.
sit on the back burner and let it take off and let it be a success. And if it is, Nintendo will jump on it. But I think they're holding their horses right now on it.
Yep.
Are you excited for VR? I'd like to try it, but I'm not putting.
Same.
I didn't pre-order anything from that stuff. I would never
I just-
pre-order.
I don't trust the longevity. I think people are going to realize that they don't have enough space in their homes to properly play VR
Yeah.
unless they get one of those like ridiculous cylindrical things that was in Community in season
Yeah,
7
yeah.
or whatever,
Exactly.
6. I mean,
Yeah. Well, VR has come and it was a failure back in the '90s. So hopefully the second coming will.
be like the Wii with the Power Glove, in a sense.
I was thinking Virtual Boy.
I just feel like VR fails not because of the graphical capability, but just it's too involved. Like, yeah, you look like an idiot when you're playing it. That isn't. I don't think that's the biggest
Screw
attractor.
that stuff.
People look like idiots when they play the Wii.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just more of it's how involved you need to be that becomes your entire environment. In terms of VR for video games, it's going I think it'll stick around. Will it completely eclipse traditional gaming? I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I really don't know, and I want to hold off judgment until it comes out and we see
Until it
if
happens.
we like it.
It's neither a good thing or a bad thing whether it does. There's no reason to see the sky is falling, which is why I don't understand the rapid hatred for random NX rumors. Oh, it's going to be portable. Oh, I don't want it to be a portable. Oh, it's going to be a console. No, I want it to be portable. And it's who cares?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Who cares?
Yeah.
Hurry up and show it off so everyone can shut the hell up and.
Like the Wii U
Exactly.
was a tremendous failure, but I love the Wii U to death in the games I, have
it's-
for
the
it.
games that are out, I think it's a success. It's not.
Well,
I'm happy with it.
I'm happy with it for sure. I don't think
There's
it's
still
a
games
success.
like sure. There's not a lot of games up, but there's still games that I'm dying to play. I still want to play Star Fox Zero, despite all the horrible ratings. I still want to play 101, the wonderful 101.
Yeah. Which I still haven't played, and I do want to play that as well. Have you played Bayonetta 2?
I love Bayonetta 2.
Well, I still got to play that. I only played the first one.
I'm not saying the system was bad.
And the
It's-
graphics, like Mario Kart 8, for example, like that game could hold up with like the best of PS4 and Xbox.
Okay, that's a bit of a stretch.
I don't think it is.
No, it is. Look, don't get me wrong. For the capabilities of the system, it looks absolutely phenomenal.
And they could squeak a lot out by cherry picking their art styles to be something that can get
Oh,
away
yeah,
with something
for
a little
sure.
bit more
Yes.
original.
But
well, that's why
to
Legend of
say-
Zelda is.
to say it's going to go up against a PS4 title, something that was built from the ground up for the PS4, no.
Like
There's
I think
no way.
I think it. I think so. I agree. I mean I disagree with you. I think it can.
I just remember when everyone was going on. Remember that tech demo when it was just like the lake, and I think there was like cherry blossoms falling.
Oh,
on
there
it.
was like the bird at the beginning of it. Yeah.
I think you're getting confused with the Unreal Engine.
No. It was the Wii U tech demo before they released it.
The Wii U
It
tech
was
demo
during
had.
E3, and it was the one they showed before they showed the Zelda tech demo for the Wii U,
Oh, okay. So
where he was in a church with a spider.
Yeah.
It was something just to show off like the graphical capabilities for the Wii U, and
Yeah.
it looked fantastic.
Which
And I
I
don't think any games have ever matched up to what they showed in those two videos.
I have to look at them. But yeah, cool. I think we should take a break.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
We'll be back. Okay, and we're back. Nintendo just released a Blast Ball that is Metroid Prime Federation Blast Ball. And they just released a demo, and we're going to do a live first impression. We are just setting up the room. Ryan set it up. What team are we, Ryan?
We're Indigo. Have you joined the game?
Yeah, we are Team Indigo. And we're going to be playing against Team Gold.
Oh, so it actually lets you in the pre-menu just like muck about in the suit, which is interesting.
Okay, cool. So we're all in, everybody?
Yep. X to start the match. Are we ready, or we want to muck about a little bit more?
Let's muck about a bit. Okay, so you use the...
Oh, it's got a pretty floaty jump.
Well,
So-
it is a Metroid game.
Yeah, that's
Ostensibly.
fair.
Are you guys playing with your 3D on?
No.
3D on, yes.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Which I don't usually do.
I'm loving this helmet. It's very, like,
It is immersive. Okay,
yeah,
that.
and the animation, like, when you,
There's no up and down aim though, which is odd.
if you guys hold
Um,
L, you'll lock onto the ball, and if you tap B while you're holding left, you'll do a little, sidestep.
Yeah.
And I love the animation.
To look up and down, you have to hold R, and then it's kind of like Splatoon aiming.
Oh, so it's gyro.
Okay, so it auto locks.
Yeah.
I'm auto locked onto the ball.
Yeah.
Right
So
now.
when you're auto lock, press R, and then you could kind of like choose where you want to hit the ball. If you choose to hit the ball on the bottom, you could do like lob shots and different angle shots. Do you guys kind of get that?
It is very surprisingly Metroid in terms of its control scheme, but it's just... I don't know. Let's get the actual game going, yeah?
Yeah, let's start. So, Paul, you comfortable with the controls?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Alright, it's the three of us against Alpha V3, 2 Alpha, and A1 AI.
And go. Here we go.
Alright, let's own these fools. Oh, how come I can't move? Because I'm trying to use a D-pad like an idiot.
Yeah, don't D-pad, Ryan. Okay, shoot. Oh, nice. We got a goal. We got a goal.
Alright, that was easy.
I'm playing support. Tools.
So this is basically
Defense.
kind of like a Rocket League kind of deal.
I think
It
a much,
looks like it.
I think a much slower paced, more strategic version of it. I've never played it, so I wouldn't know actually. But so if you hold A, you can do a charge shot, and that will give it a nice boost.
Ow.
It is kind of strange that the characters are like,
Nice.
oh yeah, wrecking it.
We are up 2 points.
So apparently they get more and more difficult progressively in this challenge mode.
I think after we beat them, they're gonna get progressively better.
Okay.
I don't think they get better.
Oh, so it's like
within the match.
a 3-to-win kind of game, I guess.
Yeah, it's 3 to win. Okay, ball launch. It's in our side. So close. Okay, it's in the.
Okay, try to get in the center. I'll go for the finishing touch.
Wait, hold up.
I'm a cherry
Ow.
picker.
Ow.
Don't touch it. You keep getting super damage, man.
Yeah, it's
Me?
the ball keeps, no, me, because the ball keeps running into me.
Well, if you're gonna go right in front of it.
Although something's
Blast
in
it,
the
blast
middle.
it.
Ah.
Where is
Yeah.
that
Are you guys
shit?
using your side step? It's really helpful in a
Yes.
situation like this.
But the enemies are stealing all the pickups.
Have you? I ain't even got a pickup yet.
Oh, maybe I think the ones that are just there, like the generic ones, are health. Does that explain why I can't use them for anything?
Oh, I got a shield, and I think like Splatoon, if I touch you guys with it,
Damn it.
We share the shield. Robbie, you are also on fire.
I think it's my shield. Oh no, I'm actually on fire. I died.
Yep. So
Okay.
I think friendly fire is a thing in this game.
Oh really?
Out of the way, are you like straight up dead?
No,
No, he'll
it
come
just
back.
takes a. It's like a 5-second respawn.
Okay, let's see what this does.
Where's the
my
ball right
shield?
now?
What did I do? I have no idea what I did.
Okay,
go,
guys,
go, go,
go.
How am I doing this?
Yes, we got it. No.
Somebody help me here. Get in the
We
center.
got it. Guys, come on.
Oh my god. Get in your hole.
Get in my
Gotta
belly.
The bottom of the hole is your home. Do you not want to go in your home? There we go.
Come on.
Nice.
There we go.
Very
Win.
nice.
Holy crap.
Thank
Good job, guys. We won.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Let's shut this down. Let's have a little quick discussion about it.
I want to keep playing.
Should we? I think maybe we should just turn your volumes off, maybe, and just kind of set it aside.
Oh, my volume's all the way down.
Yeah, it's been
Cool. Okay, so
2 goals out of 3, losers.
yeah, we wrecked them, but and stuff
And stuff. And exit. And
Yeah, so-
exit.
This game is made by Next Level Games. They made the Punch-Out remake,
Yep.
Strikers,
Mhm.
Luigi's Mansion 2,
Yep.
or Dark Moon, depending on where you're from. All fantastic games. This developer is the best. Agreed?
Oh,
I wouldn't say the best. They're good.
Oh, they
They're good.
They also made Pilot Wings, which is just honestly one of my favorite 3DS games. I don't know if it's because it was a launch game and I kind of like fell in love with it because I put so many hours into it because that's all there was to play at the time. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't make Pilot Wings, but either way, what do you guys think?
It was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun. I just don't know what to think of this game without a story. The one thing I didn't like about it is I couldn't, mind you, there might be a way to do it, but I couldn't find a way to aim up and down.
Yeah, you can if you turn on the gyroscope physics.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
If you hold R, you could use your 3DS as a virtual aimer.
So very much like what they did in like the Zelda releases, the 3D releases for 3DS.
Yeah, but I think it's more like Splatoon. It has more of that Splatoon feel.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
kind of it's very slight. You're not like moving up to look like this. It's more of just like it's what's the
Yeah,
word?
it's good for subtle. It's good for like subtle hits and like little tweaks on your aiming.
Okay.
So if you decide to shoot the ball from the bottom, that's why if you hold L, you're always automatically aimed at the ball. But if you hold R, you could slightly move to the left, or later on in the demo, if they'll have these moving targets, and you have to learn to move your target maybe like a foot above it or to the side of it, and then it's really hard to explain. But go play the demo and you'll see it.
Okay. Well, first impressions were good. I want to play the story first before I
get my full
Is there
opinion on
going
it.
to be a story?
I'm
Like
sh-
sports games typically don't have.
No, this
this
is Blast Ball. I'm pretty sure it's going to be released in a dual package. But Metroid Prime Federation Force
Yeah.
is the game. This is like the spin-off sports title that comes with the game, or we think comes with the game.
Yeah. I want to see what happens with the game. It controls well.
Oh yeah, the
Controls
game
very well.
is polished as you can get. Like, it's a good looking. Well, it's not that good looking, but it's really smooth. I think 60 frames per second. I feel.
Yeah, I really like the UI. I really like the immersion of the helmet, but I'm not going to be the person to call a demo shallow. But
Yeah, I'm kind of with Ryan on this.
Well, you guys have just played a small part of the demo. If you actually, I think if you play like 4 or 5 matches, it will unlock the Metroid Prime Federation training.
Okay.
And when you get into that, it's like
kind of like VR
an on
missions.
rails VR mission.
okay.
So it gives you more of a feel of how the game's actually going to play. You're going to be moving. You're going to be going through actual level design. But this is a co-op game. This isn't a.
It's interesting in concept, but I feel like it plays like Metroid from a gameplay perspective with the lock on, the lateral movement, or at least like a Metroid Prime game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like somebody's like, people really want a Metroid Prime game. It really must be the gameplay alone that people are into. Just take that completely out of context and put it in a different
So
game.
if this,
Which is an interesting decision, but I feel like I'm really craving that Metroid exploration that I'm not going to expect to get from this game.
So if this game had no Metroid branding, would you be excited for it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably still wouldn't be excited for it, but I think I wouldn't have anywhere near the amount of salt.
This won't be like a Splatoon instant hit type thing where it's like a brand new game idea.
No,
This is a brand new game idea.
They've taken an existing idea, gameplay-wise, as Ryan was saying before, and are trying to put a different spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the spin was needed. They just needed another Metroid Prime game.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when did 3 come out?
That would excite me.
2007.
Right? So we're looking at almost 10 years.
Yeah. Well, this is actually I think Metroid Prime Pinball came out a little later.
Well, when did when did
we're-
Other M come out? As
Other
even
end
though I'd
came
like to
out
pretend it didn't exist.
August 2010.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So still 6 years.
Yeah, it's 6 years. But I think we got remember? Did you guys ever play Hunters for DS? Metroid Hunters?
I
No.
like that game.
No,
Despite
no,
the fact that every other boss was a totem pole.
Yeah, I did like that game as well.
Yeah.
What do you mean every other boss was a totem?
Every other boss
Every other boss
was basically
was
a
literally
totem
a
pole.
totem pole.
It was like this weird pole thing. I think it was like I can't remember in the game. It was like some kind of
The game was on
data center you had to break down or something.
Yeah.
They were just progressively more difficult totem poles that you had to defeat. But like the actual multiplayer, the asymmetric multiplayer was so much fun.
Yeah, I agree. But the controls, you had to use the thumb pad to aim. Do you remember?
I can't say I do.
Yeah, it didn't have analog controls, so you would use every DS Fat came with a thumb pad, and that's how you controlled Mario 64 DS. And that's how you would control the game. So it was really, really awkward. But
Oh,
I
you
have
get
great memories
used
of
to
it
it.
too. It was a very long time ago. But I have great memories of that game.
I wish I'd played it.
You never played it?
No.
Oh,
No,
it was
no.
a lot. It came with every DS system, I think.
I didn't think
Not
you
with
could
mine.
game with it.
Yeah.
No, I had to buy it, I thought.
Oh, the demo. The demo came with it. And
Sure,
then
yeah, that's what
The
it was.
demo did come with it, yeah. You're right
Yeah.
about that.
So you're not going to pick this game up, Prime Federation Force.
Depends on the price. It really depends on the price.
It's going to probably be another $39, $49 game.
No, then...
Because you're getting
Yeah.
Blast Ball and then you're getting the full campaign story.
I am gonna wait
For
to see
reviews.
what the vast majority of people are saying about the story
I
mode.
want to see what this game has to it, and I know I'm not going to find this out from a demo. At the same time, up against everything else there is out right now in terms of video games, I just don't see why this, as an adult with finite time, and I can only play so many games, why I would choose this one over something else.
Yeah.
And you kind of need something to justify that, to why
Totally.
you spend that time.
You know what? This game is very similar to Triforce Heroes. You're going to need teammates to play this game.
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure there'll be some sort of I'm sure you can play it by yourself, but it's meant to be a co-op shooter. And I think if this game was a solo shooter with like, I think I'd be a lot more interested. But we still have Triforce Heroes to play, and I just like playing games with myself sometimes.
I don't think that's the worst thing about it, though. It's just kind of.
I think it is. I think the gameplay's great. I think I'm a big fan of Next Levels, and I think anything they do is great. I just don't want to play with people.
Yeah.
If this was a solo game, I think I'd pick it up day one, but because it's a co-op shooter, I'm not really interested. And Blast Ball, I'm sure we'll get bored after.
Oh yeah. It was really rudimentary.
Yeah.
But once again, we're just basing off of 5 minutes of a demo.
Well, yeah.
I'd like to give it the benefit
That's
of a
very
doubt.
true. That's very true.
And I was the one who wanted to keep playing, but at the same time, there's so many multiplayer games out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in a sad world that where the couch co-op is dwindling and everything's becoming kind of online play. And I'm a fan of co-op games in general. Just this game, from what I've seen, it doesn't have anything particularly.
If this game was on the Wii U, would you feel that? Would you feel differently? Same art style?
No, not at all. It wouldn't matter to me.
I don't play sports games.
Well, it's not even a Blast Ball.
Let's Blast Ball is secondary. We're talking about Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Yeah, so I need to know a little bit more about that game. I know very little about it other than
There's
the
Metroid
weird sort of
enemies.
midget chibi style.
Yeah, the chibi style is not cute either.
No,
I love cute graphics, but this is odd looking.
Yeah, they're kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, they're like Bratz dolls.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, yeah, not cool.
And it doesn't make sense to the Metroid aesthetic. And this is why I don't understand the purpose of attaching the Metroid name to this, other than to just get that marketing push. Which it seems kind of a strange thing to do because Metroid is popular, but it's not like epically popular. And apparently they don't really care that much about the IP if they're not going to come out with games at the same rate that they would with some of their other IPs. So it just seems a very strange move.
Very strange. Other M, I think, put a very I think the sales of that game weren't very good.
Yep.
So they might have just
You almost feel like there's somebody in the background saying, well, Other M didn't sell very well, so it must be that Metroid games suck, so I guess we just don't make any more.
Yeah, sure.
You want to give more credit to the developers of Nintendo, but yeah, it seems like that.
It seems like that's the conversation.
It's probably not the situation, but yeah, I'm sure. It's a shame. Has anyone seen the artwork from Next Level Games of a Metroid game that I guess they were working on? I guess it eventually turned into this.
No.
Metroid Dread.
No.
It was a very nice art style. It was kind of like Guacamelee Metroid style.
Huh.
Very cool.
So like cell shaded?
Yeah, I'll throw up some images on the video, but yeah, it's real. No, not cell shaded. Very like 2D, kind of like low poly. I hate using that word, but
Yeah. Okay.
but very simple shapes, but super cool. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. As I was saying before. No, I really have no opinion on this right now. I don't want to have an opinion on it. It's a tiny little demo of a side game that's coming with the game. Like it's nothing to base an opinion off of right now.
Totally. Yeah, like Ryan said, I agree. I think once the reviews come out, we'll get a great idea of what it's coming
What the
out.
game's about.
Yeah. So I have on my notes. I got 2D versus 3D, and which ones do you prefer?
Metroid?
Yeah, do you prefer the Prime series or because when 2D, when Mario went to 3D, when Zelda went to 3D, they did it all in the N64 era, and they did a fantastic job, just probably as good as the Prime series. And they're basically the same game, but from a different perspective. So
They're very different games.
Okay.
They're very, very different games. Like comparing an FPS with platforming capabilities to a
'Cause it's a
2D
platformer.
platformer shooter, much like, let's say, Contra or something like that. They're two incredibly different styles for the same game. Very different, very similar feel, but very different games.
Are we talking about strictly for Metroid games?
Yes.
So I would say like the difference between a Metroid Prime and a Super Metroid is almost negligible in terms of just form and function. It's just adding in that extra access, and I feel like they're almost kind of interchangeable. Like what I would love to see, like I would buy Metroids at the rate that people play, I don't know, Castlevanias when they were making like 2 games for every single system generation that came out, and just have those 2 sort of different game styles, the 3D versus the 2D. And it may be formulaic, just like many of the other Nintendo franchises, but it's fun exploring that world, that environment, getting your weapons back, picking up the new weapons, and picking up and using them to unlock new areas.
I'm not saying that that's not the case. I think they are incredibly similar in the feel, and they did a great job in bringing Metroid to 3D. But I still feel like they're much more different than when Zelda was brought to 3D or Mario was brought to 3D.
Why would you say that?
Well, I think Zelda, for
It's
example,
a very different feel.
Ocarina of Time is basically a Link to the Past. Just the camera is taken from the sky and brought down behind him.
Yeah.
Mario 64, I think that was more of a they had to rethink everything.
Yeah, I think that realistically, Other M is a greater, in a sense, spiritual successor to what the 2Ds were trying to do. Because it's your vantage point at that point. Being first person compared to third person, like every other 2D Metroid game, is still closer to that type of thing. Having the auto aim with the enemies is much closer to what they could have done with something like that to make it feel more like the 2D Metroid games. And this isn't to hinder Metroid Prime in any way, shape, or form. Metroid Prime is still superior to Other M in every way, but I know why they made Other M. They wanted it to feel more like the 2D.
I see your point. I think Other M was a really cool game where it was like, imagine like Super Metroid. Imagine playing a 2D game and then you press a button and all of a sudden you're kind of like stuck in that position. 3D, and you can kind of like look around, but only in that space. So they did do something interesting in Other M.
Well, I don't think anybody disliked Other M for the third person perspective. It was for the storyline. Yeah, sorry. So that's what you're saying is the main difference is the first person versus the third person rather than the 2D or the 3D versus 2D.
Well, it's the transition from 2D to 3D. And they decided to go with first person, and I feel like that was the biggest jump from a franchise going from one to the other directly. Let's say Super Metroid to Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, functionally, the games still operate the same. It's just a matter of the environment and the methods, whether, like, the number of axes involved. And when it's the difference between being over the shoulder, or third person, or over the shoulder, or first person, like that difference is negligible. It's the exploration, immersing yourself in that world, and just picking up those items.
There's no divide between the Prime series and the 2D. They're all Metroid games.
And that's why it's so strange that there's just that definition that if it's 3D, it's a Prime game, or if it's 3D first person, and then we don't even know what to call Other M at this point. And I hear fantastic things about Other M from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah, I've never really heard anything bad from.
But just that storyline is the most bizarre thing.
It's because she's a lady.
That word, lady.
Insert sound clip here.
Going back to your original question, I do still prefer the 2D games over the 3D. Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion, Zero Mission.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. If you were gonna hand Zelda a Metroid game to me, I'd take Zero Mission any day over Prime.
Primes are great. I loved
not any day. Like it's actually a really hard one. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. You know what I mean?
It is for sure. But
I take it back. They're all kind of like
in this case, I gotta go back to my roots with it.
Okay. Cool. Good answer. I think that was a good response. Okay, let's get into listener email. So this is our first podcast, and we don't have any listener email.
Yep.
So I'm gonna challenge you guys to make like a fake listener email, and let's answer it together. Each person gets one question. I haven't thought of mine, so I'm gonna put you guys on the spot. Maybe we should put in some elevator music here to kill the awkwardness.
So this message is from Play Those Beats 69. He asks, well, it's not even really a question, it's more of a statement. He says, great show, guys, I'm really enjoying it. Those two guys, Paulie and Ryan, are great, but what the fuck is up with that Robbie guy?
Is this real?
You want to read it?
No, I trust your judgment.
So this email.
And it's actually Rusty. No one knows who Robbie is.
Oh, right, sorry.
So
Rusty
this
guy.
email I received, it's actually a review of the episode, and it's only 2 words. It's just shit sandwich.
Okay, I have a listener email from Randy's 69 boner. And he says, Metroid 2 just got released, and Nintendo took it down because they want to protect their rights. Do you guys disagree, or do you agree? What's going on here? So, what's the situation, Paulie?
So you want to create a licensed game and not pay any licensing
Well, I don't think they're
fees?
charging anything.
much.
I think it's a free game.
But it's beyond the point, though. This isn't like when they did like a fan translation to Mother 3 or anything like that. This is a game that's been in existence for an incredibly long time.
And
it's
is
been
due
released.
and is due for a remake because the Game Boy game is unplayable.
Yes, yeah, I completely
There's
agree.
no color.
Most first generation
I-
Game Boy games are basically unplayable.
I love the fact
Pokemon.
that it happened, but I understand why Nintendo did it. They re-released Metroid 2 on the 3DS Virtual Console how long ago?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
5, 4, whatever.
What? No,
I
was it
don't
that
know.
long ago? Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. So they released this game and they're charging, let's say, whatever, $4.99, $3.99 Canadian, right? For this title, and then all of a sudden these guys from buttfuck nowhere, North America, whatever, essentially took this game, completely remade it from the ground up, which is incredible, but are now releasing this game in a much better format for free.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, in a much better format for free.
Yes.
Of course Nintendo was going to do something about it. It would have hindered their sales. If there were any
I
people left
disagree.
to
I don't
buy.
think they're doing it because of sales. I think it's more of this is their property. They gotta protect it, no matter what. Like,
If that's
I
the
don't think
case,
it's
I
Donald
disagree.
Draper holding on to something and doing this for artistic reasons. It's a business. They're making this from a business perspective.
it's all about the moolah.
And why would you not? You know what I mean?
I totally agree. If I was Nintendo, I'd be like, get that down right now. It's not ours. Like, it's just common business. I think.
It would hurt their IPs from their perspective. Sure, whoever is doing this is probably just doing it as a labor of love, trying to create something great. But I guess this asks the question whether or not a game is public domain once it exists for a certain amount of time. Obviously, the answer is no from a business perspective. So
This isn't like Mozart. This isn't like some song made up in the. Oh, it's made up.
a couple hundred years ago.
Okay, yeah. This is a relevant IP owned by Nintendo. Like, this is.
This is something that they are still selling for money. That
The new game comes out August 19th, so
if they want to remake, they will hire a company to do it themselves, not some people to do it of their own accord, and then release it for free.
Yeah, which, I mean, I doubt they would ever actually do a remake of Metroid 2, but that's a different issue
It
altogether.
reminds me of the whole thing about the Zelda movie. When the Zelda movie was
Oh, there's so much
supposed to
worse
be
than
coming
that.
out.
The Chrono Trigger Resurrection, I will always stand by
Yeah.
that.
How about Mother 4?
They can't really do anything about it.
Why not? Of course
Well,
they can.
No, of course not. Like, they're taking something that is based off of a franchise from Nintendo, but is a completely new game. It's a fan game. It's nothing that they've made or released. It's not based off of anything directly.
I don't think
like
so,
A remake
Paulie.
of Mother 3 or Earthbound or Earthbound Zero or Origins or
Yeah.
whatever they renamed it.
Nintendo and Square Enix, I think it's like a trolling system. They like these developers to like get as far as they can, and then squash it right before they release it. They did it with Chrono Trigger, Resurrection.
That was way far away from being released.
Well, they had
Enix,
3D.
Like,
They put a lot of time.
Project M got shut down.
Project M,
yeah. No, I think Mother 4 is a very different case. I think Mother 4 is because it's a brand new fan-made game from the ground up, new characters, none of it, I'm assuming even enemies or moves are Nintendo-oriented. So they've completely taken this franchise that obviously Nintendo's never going to touch again and made a new game in the newest way possible, if that makes any sense to you. I think they're changing around a lot of it. As I was saying before, moves, characters are all brand new and fan designed. World is brand new, fan designed.
How about like the
enemies.
likeness? The likeness is, and the name, the likeness, like that's got to be worth something to Nintendo.
Yeah, but then why aren't they shutting down like the Kaizo ROM hackings for like Super Mario World and Mario 3 and whatever? They're essentially taking their own properties, reworking them, and then releasing them for emulators.
I don't know.
Right? It's something like that. I don't think, because they're not really doing anything outside of maybe the name, they might make them change the name. Mm-hmm. I think they can get away with it.
Well, that's why. If they just made this as a new franchise and just kind of, well, this is a spiritual successor.
I think you should. The Booker card hasn't been used yet. And
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Wait, no. I have an example of this already. Okay. It happened recently. And
thanks for ruining me what I was about to make a point by with this stupid card.
Hey, don't be mean to Booker.
Not to say, and mind you, I still haven't played it, but I am planning on playing it at a certain point in time because obviously I backed it. But Mighty Number 9, Capcom can't do a thing about it, even though it is blatantly Mega Man.
So here's the thing: is why call it a mother game when you can see how successful Mighty Number 9 should have been if it was a little bit better.
Good. Yeah, for sure.
But it was certainly a success in terms of getting the Kickstarter started.
Yeah.
If they said, we want to make a game like the Earthbound series, and this game is going to be called
Undertale.
Yeah, but all they really have to do is change the name at that point. Then Nintendo can't do anything.
So why didn't they do that in the first place?
Well, they haven't gotten shut down yet.
And that's the mistake, is you are taking like IP, intellectual property.
Yeah.
This is something that belongs to Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it's just like if I decided I want to sell beverages and then I could slap a Coke logo on it and just call it Coke Ryan. I don't think Coke would take very kindly to that. And it would be kind of a dick move on my part because everybody knows I'm using the Coke name to try to raise awareness to make my beverage endeavor higher profile than it is. I'd be coasting off with someone else's success.
Yeah,
and I see this is exactly what they're doing.
No, because you're assuming that they're selling the game. This game's coming up for free.
It doesn't matter. It's the whole idea of it. And
No,
no.
that's not the point. They're making this game because they know Nintendo won't. These are Earthbound / Mother fans making a game because they want more Mother.
Go make Undertale then. Look at Undertale. Undertale is a great example. It's totally inspired by Mother, but they did their own spin on it. They made their own game, and Nintendo can't do anything about it. They're flattered that they made a game based on.
Led Zeppelin hasn't made music in a long time. Are you going to write a new Led Zeppelin song for them?
Well, it depends on if I can get John Paul Jones.
Well, you don't have to, apparently. You just get any bunch of schmucks together and then call it whatever, so long as it sounds similar enough. Just throw some baby ohs, get the drummer really, really drunk, and it'll be a Led Zeppelin song.
Okay, I think that closes that question.
Yeah.
Is there any more fake questions? Anybody have a fake question they want to ask?
Yes, considering how amateur this podcast is, how do you sleep at night?
With loads and loads and loads of money.
Okay, and on that note, we have a Booker card here that we didn't get to use. If anyone has an idea of what they want this card to be used as for the next game, please leave a comment in the comment section.
And how I could use it to bully the other two people because I still have possession of it.
Oh, you still do?
I do. I didn't use it.
Okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
So
it's mine now. I'm taking it home with me.
So Ryan will be in possession of the Booker card
forever.
Forever. So please leave a comment on how we can use it and a fun way that will make our podcast even better. Don't forget to leave an email a question, you could leave it in the comment below, or you can email it to us at gameandwatchitwithrusty@gmail.com. And thank you for listening. And on that note, I'm Rusty.
I'm Paulie.
I'm Ryan.
And you just game and watched it.